So hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I will do a tutorial in chapter 3, so network protocol and communications. So more and more, it is a network that connects us. People communicate online from everywhere. Conversation in classrooms spill into instant message, chat session, and online debates continue at school. New services are being developed daily to take advantage the network. So rather than developing unique and separate system for delivery for each new service, the network industry as a whole has adopted a developmental framework that allows a designer to understand current network platform and maintain them. At the same time, this framework is used uh, to facilitate the development of new technologies to support future communications need and technology environment. So as you can see, we have here communication fundamentals. So a network can be as complex as devices connected across the network or simple as two computers directly connected to one another with a single keyboard. And anything in between network can vary in size, shape, and function. However, simply having a wired or wireless physical connection between end device is not enough to enable communication. For communication to occur, devices must know how to communicate. So, in figure 1, we will play this. So, message source. So, we have a signal transmitter. So, the transmission medium, and then the signal receiver and the message destination. So we will play here to the figure 2. So again, we have a computer communication, we have a message source, and the signal is transmitter, and then the transmission medium, and again the receiver, signal, and the message destination. So we have a rule establishment. So before communicating with one another, individual must use established rule or agreements to govern the conversation. For example, consider in figure 1, protocols are necessary for effective communication. This rule or protocols must be followed in order for the message must to be successfully delivered and understood. So here we have here the humans communication between governed rules. It is very difficult to understand messages that are not correctly formatted and do not follow. So as you can see, the words are not very um, understandable. It has a different language. It has a different language, and then so as you can see, it has a effective this error protocol must be followed in order for the message to be successful. So as you can see, sentence has a configure. I don't know it correct pronunciation, and then we have in figure 2. We have here the message encoding, message formatting, encapsulation, message size, message timing, and message delivery option. So message encoding. So one of the first step to sending a message is encoding. So here, so as you can see, we have a source encoded. So the message encoding. So we have a message source, the encoder and transmitter, and then the medium, the channel that we will use, and the receiver that will receive by the message source, and then the decoder, and then the message destination. In the figure 2 is the computer, same as the same as the human. Again, we have here the message source and then the encoder, transmitter, medium that we will use, and receiver that we will pass the message, and then the decoder or the signal, and then the message destination. The message formatting and encapsulation. So we have here example letter. So when a message is sent from the source to destination, it must use a specific format or structure. Message formats depend on the type of message and the channel that is used to deliver. So letter is we will so as you can see we have here the identifier of recipient, salutation of greetings, and message content, closing phrase, and identifier of the sender. So we will open this. So as you can see we have Dear Jane, I just returned from my trip. I thought you might don't know. So as you can see, we have here the street is the envelope addressing, and then the dear is an encapsulated letter, and Jane it is the encapsulated letter again, and all the body of the message is in the encapsulated letter again, and the receiver will Jan is this the encapsulated. So we will show in figure 2. As you can see, we have here the um, example. Not no, this is the example, and this is the here that one that um, chart that we will use. So we have here the human communication again. Message size. Another rule of communication is size. When people communicate with each other, the message that they send are usually broken to smaller parts or sentences. These sentences are limited in size to what the receiving person can process one at a time as shown in figure 1. So we will play this. So as you can see, the message source and the decoder encoder. So he will not understand that he will say she will saying. So she will repeat, and then the decoder will understand what she said. Again, computer communication. If the computer did pass the wrong information, the receiver will not understand it. And then if the computer um, pass the correct information, so as you can see the receiver of the computer will understand it. So we have here message timing. So as you can see, we will access method. What is timing? So as you can see, did not understand of what we were saying because he and she will speak at the same time. So they did not understand what we were saying. So this is the message timing. So access method determines that someone is able to send a message. So flow control timing also affect how much information can be sent. So as you can see in the figure, did not understand of what we are saying. In response timeout, if a person asks a question and does not hear in response with an acceptable amount of time. So we have here message delivery option. We have a unicast. For unicast, we have here the one peer-to-peer communication, and then the multicast is it has a two or more, and then the broadcast is all over. The source will announce all the receiver, and then as you can see the unicast in the computer. So the source will send a file with one computer. For the multicast, the source will send a two or more computer, and then the broadcast is the source will give some file to all PC. So we will I will answer activity in chapter 3. So here, activity illustrate the encapsulation process. So we have here packets, bits, data, frames, and segment. So for the email, so we will encapsulation the data. So passing down the stack. So we will choose among of these 5 answer to drag this into the here. So email data. So we will here data, and then data we will use a segment here, and then after that we have packets, and then frames and bits. So as you can see, we have here binary, so that's what we call bits, and then we have frame header, network header, transport header, and data frame trailer. It has a frame, and then the network header, transport header, and data, it is a packet, and then the data transport header, and then data, it is the segment, and the email data is the data. And then we will check if it is correct. So it's already correct. You have successfully placed the PDU in the correct order and illustrate the encapsulation process. So this is the end of the video in chapter 3 tutorial, and I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching.